Mark Cuban and the Mavericks said we're not going to play the national anthem anymore. The NBA yesterday said, yes, you are. So that got reversed pretty quickly. Where do you, no pun intended, Mike, where do you stand on the anthem issue right now when it comes to players in pro sports or any sport?
Well, here's where I stand. That's exactly what everybody fought for, is to give you the right to do what you want to do. If you want to stand, you want to stand. If you don't want to stand, you don't want to stand. I've always stood, listen, I've taken on this new meaning when I started doing Thursday night football, and I saw guys come out, and doing the national anthem, and we used to have the Wounded Warriors come out and hold the national anthem. I've seen guys with one leg, man, one arm, and you see the pride that they go out and hold that flag across when they stretch it across the field. That touched me, man. I'm telling you, that been Thursday night where I sat there and shook every one of those guys' hands, and I held back crying because you see with their kids, and it's like they were trying to show their kids, this is why dad or this is why mom is handicapped. This was what it was all about. So just out of that, and I'm getting emotional talking about it. From that standpoint, I've always said I would stand. But I understand if you don't want to stand. That's what we fought for. What I don't get is why we got to have such polarizing fights when we always argue that we're arguing about the same thing. We're arguing or fighting, I should say, we're fighting for the same thing. We're fighting for the Constitution. Everybody thinks they're fighting for your constitutional rights, but they just see different fights. And I don't understand why we can't focus on the solution, why everybody must focus on, well, who won the fight, instead of putting the energy towards finding a solution for the disconnect. That part confuses the hell out of me, because it'll probably take less energy to find the solution than we spend in the fight, but we refuse to do that.
Michael Irvin, playmaker, joining us here, 105.3 The Fan. For years, everyone's trying to find a quarterback. Now it seems everyone's trying to trade a quarterback. What do you make of the Russell Wilson, Seattle disconnect of, maybe they may be looking to move on from him?
We are in this age now, and this is it, where these guys are understanding that they have some authority. I've said this to you guys a long time ago. We are no longer in the business of organizations having dominion over players, not with these kinds of contracts. It has to be partnership with the players. And the organizations have been slow to coming around on that. How many people boo-hooed and ha-ha'd and hee-heed and kiki-keyed and caw-cawed at the Houston Rockets? Well, letting James Harden do whatever he want to do. Everybody, all right, could y'all? This is what y'all did. This is what y'all get. Everybody, wait a minute. Houston was trying to do they were trying to keep them happy. Ultimately, and it may take a few teams moving a few players and going to the slumps of the NFL before they capitulate and say, okay, I see. We got to do to get one of those guys and keep him here. Just like the Rockets were trying to do with Harden. That's the reality of it. Because this kind of talent, it's not like, okay, Russell Wilson. You can't hurt Russell Wilson if you're Seattle. Russell Wilson can go somewhere else and somebody else going to pay him $35, $40 million a year. But when he leaves, what are you going to have at quarterback? And how many games are you going to win? You see what I'm saying? So to act as if he has no power is just absolutely not smart.
Who do you think would bring back more in a trade between Russell and Deshaun Watson, given the age difference?
Well, Deshaun Watson's the second highest commodity in the National Football League. No doubt about it. Outside of Patrick Mahomes, you go D-Watt, Deshaun Watson. And just because of that, what you mentioned, Shan, is the age, the ability, So Russell's closer to his ceiling. Deshaun is probably floating right in the middle of the room. He's not near his floor, but surprisingly, I don't believe he's near his ceiling either. So you still have a lot that you can get out of Deshaun Watson, the second best commodity in the National Football League right now.
Playmaker Michael Irvin here on 105.3 The Fan. The Cowboys off-season priority list would look like what if you were in there, and I'm sure you will be talking to Jerry and giving him your advice. What needs to happen this off-season?
Well, number one priority should be Dak. That's no doubt. And then number two should be Prescott. And then number three should be Dakota. And number four should be Rain. That's all I want to hear. You understand what I'm saying? That's it. That's all I want to hear. I don't care about all this other stuff. Then after we get through Dak, Dakota, Rain, Prescott, then we'll get the defense. You see what I'm saying? Then we start working on defense. But Dak is the first four all by himself.
Mike, what are the chances that Dak is not the starting quarterback, not this year, but next year?
I can't see that. I just can't see it. I mean, we see how hard it is to find these quarterbacks, and you have a young guy that you know works. And listen, we're even dealing in. I know we got great talent in Russell and great talent in Shan and all of these guys and everything, but we don't know how that talent, that personality fits with the personalities around here. I know how Dak fits with the personalities. I know that Dak brings something out of all of these guys. Dak is, as I said to you guys before, as close as I've seen in the National Football League to Tom Brady, in the sense where you never get the heart and soul of your football team being the quarterback. You rarely get it. It's the best asset you can have when you have the heart and soul of your football team, a quarterback, and that quarterback is connected to everybody. Did you guys know that Tom Brady texts everybody on that team every day last week saying, "We will win"? Are you joking? Are you joking?
A lot of time.
Dude, do you know, man,
It's
oh
a
my
data
God,
plan.
do you know, if you had a 6-time Super Bowl champion, how many times I told you hope would dictate effort? Hope would dictate effort. Give me great hope, great effort. Give me a little hope, I give a little effort. If you got a 6-time Super Bowl champion, he's texting you every day, and he says to you, "We will win." How much hope do you have, and how much effort are you willing to give? That's what happened Sunday, and Tampa was all football field. Now, that's what you call leadership. That's what you call the and soul of your team. I got Russ around.